Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Our topic today will be on static library. Before I proceed, I want to give you guys a little explanation on what library is. So library is a group of precompiled codes called functions. To avoid writing codes, package is created called library. And we have two types of library. We have static library and dynamic library. I've already made a video on dynamic library and I'll put the link in my description box. Then our focus today will be on static library. So the steps in creating a static library include, if you don't understand this, I'm saying, just don't bother. I will practicalize it in my Linux for better understanding. Let me just explain it first here, then we'll now navigate to my Linux for the practicals too. I'll show you guys how to do it practically. Then the steps include first, create a function file. Let's take, for instance, we want to create a function that sums two numbers. Let's name the function add.c. And know that while creating a static library, you must precede it with lib underscore. So let's say the function that sums two numbers will be lib underscore add.c. Okay. And for instance, you want to create another function that multiplies two numbers. Let's say we name it lib underscore mult.c. You can name it anything, but it must be preceded with lib underscore. Then the second step is to create an object file for the function files. You can see each file, for each file you created in number first step, you must create an object file for it with this code. The third step is to create a static library with this command. Here I named my static library here in this example, I named it lib underscore static.a. You get. So the essence of this is aim of this is to bundle multiple object files into one static library. You get. With this, for instance, if you created like in number one, for instance, if you created like 4 or 5 function files, number two, you created object files for each, making it 5 object files. So in this number 3, with this code, you can bundle all the object files into a static library, which is lib underscore static.a. Then the first step is to create your header file, main.h, you can name it anything. Then the fifth step is to create a C file with the main function. That is your main.c file. Yes. Then the sixth step is to create an object file for main.c. As you use the same code you used in step 2. You create an object file for your main.c. Then the seventh step is to link your main program to the static library with this code. This code will link, you can see here I have main.o, which is the object file I created in step 6. Then I have here lib underscore static.a, which is my static library. And I forgot to tell you guys that in Linux, static library has .a extension, but in Windows it has .lib extension. So once you see a file with .a extension in Linux, just know that it's a static library. Then here now in this code now I have my main.o and this. Here this hyphen L dot, this is a linker, this is linking these two files together. This dot here is just showing that the two files are in the same directory. Then these two files are linked into this main function, main. After running this code, when you ls, you will see that you created a new file, an executable file named main. So now in line 8, step 8, you run this file, run the program. You run this main file, which you created in 7. So now let's navigate to Linux, so that I will show you guys a practical example. So now this is our Linux. Now first of all, let's create a directory for this tutorial. Let's name this directory static. So let's navigate to it. Yes. Then in our, remember I told you guys that the first step is to create a function. So first of all, let's create a function that sums two numbers. So remember I told you guys it must be preceded with lib underscore. Let me add.c. So in our add.c function, first of all, you create header file. There's a mistake. Yes. Then the prototype of a function is void add. A function will take two arguments. B. Then I want to printf the result of the addition equal to %d. Let's add a new line. Then which is a plus b. Then this is it. Let's create another function that multiplies two numbers. So let's name it lib underscore mult.c. So start by creating our header file. Then create a prototype of it, or you want it to multiply two numbers. It's going to take two arguments. And B. Then I want to print f. I want to print f. Okay. Okay, let's say the product of A and B is the product of A and B is equal to %d. Let's add a new line as well. M plus A times B. So we've created our function files. The next thing is to create object files for each function file. We create an object file for it. So gcc-c creating. Let's start with add.lib underscore add.c-o. Now lib underscore add.o. Then let's create an object file for mode.c with this code lib underscore mode.c -o. There's no mistake. Lib underscore mode.o. Then ls, you can see we've created two object files. We have lib underscore add.c. You can see the object file here, add.o. Then you can see object file for mode.o as well. So the next step is to create our static library. So remember the code I gave you guys in the beginning of the course. Remember the code I gave you guys? So I run this code. Then once you name you can name your object file anything. So remember in my beginning of the course I told you guys I named my static dot lib underscore static dot a. So let me name it the same thing here, lib underscore static dot a. Then remember I told you guys that the aim of creating this is to bundle multiple object files into one static library. So this is my static library. I've created it with this code. Then I don't want to bundle my libadd.o and my lib underscore mode.o. So then lib underscore add.o lib underscore mode. So I even have more object files, I can include it here. The essence of this code is to bundle all into one static library. I've done that. Then the next thing, we have to create a main.h file, a header file. It mustn't be main.h. You can name your file anything. You can name it anything. So I named my main.h. I did it so that those in ALUS will understand better, because what they normally use is main.h. You can name yours anything. So in this, you have to add the prototype of the two functions you created. If you go back to the file, you can remember that the prototype for my add function was void add int a int b. And this is void, not void. Mistake. Void. Yes. Prototype of the second one is void mult int a int b. This is it. Then the first step, right? No, the fifth step is to create our main.c file. Main.c. You can name yours anything. I named my main.c file. So in this step, include our header file. We include our header file, stdio. That's h. And also we include the header file we created, the main.h, the one we created, main.h. Then int main. Yeah, our int a is equal to let's say 20. Our b is equal to, let's say, 30. Then we now have to call our functions. You know, we created two functions. We created add function, multiplication function. So because these two numbers I included here, int a and int b, I want to find the addition, the sum of the two numbers, and I want to find the product of the two numbers. So I will have to call the function I created. So the function is created an add function, then a b. Then the mult function, called it a b. Then so yes, this is it. Then the next thing to do, as we've created this, so the next step, which is our sixth step, is to create an object file for main.c. The same thing we did in step 2. So this is c main.c hyphen o main.o. And see here on ls, we have our main.o file here. So the next step is we have to link, the seventh step is to link our main program to a static library. Remember the code I gave? Main. Oh, mistake. We are linking. So main.o hyphen dot, then our library lib underscore static.a, right? There's no mistake. Then let's do ls. You can see we now have an executable file here named main, which we created here. We created this file here in step 7. So now let's run it. Run the code, run our program. You can see The result of the addition is 50. Remember, the numbers we imputed were 20 and 30. And the sum the two numbers and gave 50. The second one, the product of the two numbers A and B, which is 20 and 30. 20 times 30 is 100. So this is it. You can try it out on your own. So if you like my video, if this video actually gave you solution to your task, please endeavor to subscribe so that you can be notified of more videos. So take care of yourself. Bye bye.